A common dilemma that the managers face is how candid to be with their employees. And a common case is when companies face layoffs, which is more and more common in good or bad economic times. There's a case where a manager is called into a meeting and is told that we're going to experience layoffs. All the managers are told this, that we're going to experience layoffs in the company. Here's a list of the people in your division who are being laid off. Do not tell them until 3 weeks from now. We're going to announce it to the whole company, but do not tell them. We don't want to create a panic. We don't want people to know beforehand. We want to disclose this all at the same time to everyone. So the manager goes back to his office and is in his office and sitting there and worried about how he's going to keep this information to himself and deliver the information when it has to be delivered. And an employee who he's known for quite a while comes in and says, my wife and I are about to put a down payment on a house. Do you know of any reason we shouldn't? And he's sitting with this information that this guy is on the list of people to be laid off. So do I tell him or do I not? On the one hand, if he doesn't tell him, then the guy could be making a pretty dire financial decision and not be able to afford this house down the road. If he does tell him, then he breaches his responsibility to the company, where he's basically responsible for not letting out the information ahead of time. And so he's faced with this dilemma of, what do I do? What's the best right choice here to make? A colleague has said that you never have to lie because your vocabulary is so big. So he could dance around the response and say all kinds of things. Well, what do you think you should do? Well, what do you think of the health of the company? And put it back on the employee if he wants to, but that really is dancing around and misguiding the employee. The most candid thing he can do and the best thing he can do is to just say to the employee, I can't tell you. And that's the honest response, that's the candid response, and if the employee wants to read into that, that's up to the employee. But it's in situations like this, being candid and direct without breaching your responsibility to any of the parties is the best way to be.